streams starting back in the new year. And I am hoping that, these are useful. I haven't been getting a lot of comments about packs that you want to hear about, but I would definitely want to encourage that. Please let me know if there are specific packs that you're interested in covering. Today, I'm going to be talking about Build and Drop. This is kind of an EDM-oriented pack that I've been working a little bit with, because lately I've been kind of getting into sampling and trying to use that to create some more kind of synth electro style stuff. And there's a lot of this like really poppy, kind of like positive, upbeat stuff in this kit, in this Build and Drop pack. So I wanted to talk about it so that I could dive into it a bit more, but also kind of demonstrate things. I'm also going to take a little bit more time today, because I think covering these packs lately sometimes is a little brief, and I want to actually put together some music. And so maybe, these live streams double as getting insights into these sound packs, how we can use them, but also some insights into Ableton itself and the push, right? So I got my push down here, and I'll be using that. So let's switch over to my computer and just take a look at kind of what the story is here with Build and Drop. So it says loaded with ecstatic leads, developing bass, slamming drums, curated sounds. So yeah, it's like positive vibes. Down here they talk about dubstep. I've seen other people refer to this as having being pretty good for trap. Definitely EDM. So there's a lot going on here. Drums, loops, and we can see there are 189 presets. So I would imagine that indicates this is really got a lot of sounds. So if you're looking for patches to play. There are live clips as well, 32 live clips. That's a relatively small number of live clips by comparison to some other modern packs. I think this pack came out with Ableton 10. Let's give a listen to some of the samples. Just turning that down a little bit. So I can see kind of like a trap element here. That's definitely more EDM, a kind of riser. That's much more dubstep. They're obviously trying to showcase off a lot of different flavors in one, right? But let's keep listening. And then coming to a close here. All right, listen to. All right, it's a little bit more like garage type sound. Some impacts there, slightly theatrical. A little more techno or a little trance kind of flavor. So a lot of different flavors in here. Let's see here. Drum racks are packed with driving drums, percussion, letting you craft new club anthems. Designed for flow. Pack is set up for sparking ideas. 8 macros are carefully set up for creative tweaking. So that is a strong indicator that these could be quite performable, because I think generally the push really shines in performance when you have stuff set up on my macros. So 140 plus instrument racks. So those are going to be sounds, basically presets. Drum racks, some new drum machines. as if I need more. 250 audio loops, so some stuff to sample, maybe chop some MIDI clips. Effects racks, we'll take a look at some of those samples provided by these folks doing good work. Also, the You May Also Like. Let's see what these kind of indicate. So drums, DJ stuff, drums, effects racks, beat tools is definitely about performance and beats. So, you know, pretty straightforward here. Really right up your alley if you're working on EDM or anything like that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually kind of look at some of these presets, load them up on push, and put together some music. So let's switch over to my overhead. I got to bring the mic down here, which sometimes squeaks. And let's just take a look here. So I'll start by loading a device, go down to packs, and got build and drop. So right away we see drums, effects racks, samples and sounds. Let's listen to some of these. I often find that the first three that they offer are going to be like the main flavor. So these are definitely like EDM, trancey kind of club vibes. Some melodic kits in here. You know, it's just vocal stabs, some tonal stuff. All right, so I'm going to start here with Mafia District Kit, just to load up something. All right, so let's say that I just start a basic loop here. Kind of working out a basic little beat here. I'm going to double that. So you can see in the clip view here, I've got a 1-bar loop, right? And that's indicated here. I'm going to double that. It's going to make it into a 2-bar loop. I'm going to double it again, make it into a 4-bar loop. And then when I'm looking at the clip, I can see that I can go in and repeat. Change one of my timings here. And then I can put in fills like that during performance. But let's go ahead and load up another sound here. So just looking at this pack build and drop. All right, I'm not looking at any of my other packs. I'm going to look at sounds. So these are some of the different patches that they've got. I'm going to look for synth keys. I like to listen to the samples over the drums playing so I can pick a sound that has like a good EQ tonal quality that's going to cut through over the drums. I might go with plucky, something plucky. Alright, so scale, I'm in C major. Why don't I just switch to F minor since that's kind of a standard. There's a little echo on there. All right, so I can see up here where my loop starts, so I can kind of count off, turn on my metronome. 1, 2, 3. All right, now I kind of purposely put together something there that's bad rhythm, and that's because I want to talk a little bit about how I can fix that, right? So let me go ahead and record this. So right now I've got this 4-bar loop, and I can see what's being recorded. So this is terrible timing, you can see. And what I want to talk about is how could I fix this, right, if I'm in performance? So one option, of course, is I could quantize everything. It's set to 16th, so I'm going to undo that and hold down quantize, set my quantize to quarters, right? So now when I quantize, it's going to snap right onto quarters. But there's another way to do that if I have like one kind of groove that is locked on. Like if I have this element that I want to lock to the grid, but the other elements, I don't want to quantize them. And in order to make that actually more clear, I'm going to undo that. I'm going to go back to my drums here, and I am going to go to session view, and I'm going to do new clip here. And I'm going to delete my old clip, right? So I'm on a new clip here in the Mafia drum kit. And so what I'm going to do is just go into note, take off repeat. I'll use different kicks like that. Just 1 bar. Something very straightforward here is what I want so that I can keep track of the pulse better when I'm looking over here. Okay, so I had my fixed length set to 4 bars. It just automatically recorded that. But let's say that, you know, I'm spotting this element right here. Well, we'll go with this one here. And I want to just lock those down, right? So what I can do, I'm just going to turn it down so my voice isn't fighting with it so much. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the note view, and I'm going to change the layout until it says melodic sequencer, like that. And now what I can do here is I can actually move through the clip with, I can see, this is kind of hard to see, but over here on the far left, there's actually an indicator of where the notes are, and you can even see them on the touch strip. So I'm not seeing any notes on this display right now, but they are there, and if I scroll up, oh, there they are. You can see them, right? And it all matches right here on a graphic, as well as right here. You can tell there's like dim dots, and then I come up here, and I can see them also kind of scrolling. I've got a lot of light here. I'm not getting, the pads aren't as bright, but they're there. So I come up here. Now I can see the notes that are kind of colored here. Again, these pads are rather dim, but I think you can probably see them, right? And I've only got this one section highlighted. So what I want to do is move my loop position over. Now I can actually grab all 3 of these, and you're going to see this zooms in, right? Now I can actually nudge these over. So those are just, I've only changed those 1, right? Let me go back to 1. So that's a great way to manipulate just those notes. I like to use the melodic sequencer view of the layout so that I can see the pads. I can hold all 3 of them at a time and I can change them. All right, so now we've got drums. Let's see what our drums are doing. I think I programmed that, so this is already quantized since I sequenced it here on the push. But let's check out some of the audio samples, because it said this pack contained a bunch of audio samples as well. So let's go for loops. I'm in the key of F minor, so here's a bass, something in F minor. So that may be a good candidate. There's another one down here. That's a little much for me. See if they got any other F minor options. They got quite a few F sharp minors. Let's see. I could take an F sharp minor. I mean, I could retune or transpose any of these, but let's see. Anything minor, probably. If I'm in F minor, that's the relative major of A flat. So if I took this sample in A, for example, then I could transpose it down 1 to A flat. So now you can hear, if I solo, take the metronome off, session. So by using transpose, that was the original A. Going down 1, that's to A flat. A flat major is the relative major of F minor. So F minor was the scale that I chose when I played the chords. So you can hear that now what's going on in the music matches that, right? So let's see what else we could do. We could, I'm going to delete this extra audio clip. We could slice this up, reorder it, right? So let's talk about that for a little bit. If I were to take this, convert it to a simpler, it's going to create a new track, right? I'm going to take record off of this here. So I got that bass line playing again, but on this track, I've got the same sample as this. This is here, it's a clip. Here, it's in a simpler, so I have to look at it in the device view. And I can change mode to slicing. I could leave it as transient, that's fine. And if I put this on note view, all of the colored pads, these are the slices, so I'll stop the playback there. Now there's not much here because every single one of those transient sounds is the same sound, basically, still just a pulse from a synth. But if cutting it up like this and turning it into an instrument would allow me to rearrange things if there was something more melodic, right? So I could also, from within this simpler, go to browse, and I'm going to go back to packs. Build and drop samples, loops, and let's look for something else. Very trancey. So that's in C minor. Let's see, there's one here in F minor. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and I am going to convert this to, whoops, cancel that. So change this to slicing. The second one is empty. I just hold delete that. delete that. There you go. So once I have these, you know, I won't do that, all of that right now, but once I had these cut up, then I can hit convert and turn it into a drum rack. And now I can even sequence it. Let's go with repeat. So gives me some opportunities to mess things around a little bit. There are some great samples in here. I think this is going to be a really great place to start from if you are working on EDM, really pretty much of any type. Just adjusting my mic here. So yeah, you're working on really any kind of EDM, from dubstep to house, trance, maybe not so much techno, because these are a little too kind of cheerful, but probably you could warp it up. There might be some good bass lines in there too, bass sounds. There are some effects that we didn't look at, lots of presets as well. I'm sure that there's a variety, but this whole build and drop kit, it was part of like a group, I think, of 5 or 6 packs that came out with Ableton 10 that were all kind of geared towards specific genres and styles. There was chop and swing, build and drop, I think punch and tilt. There were these different ones. It was like, you know, something and something, and they were for like a specific genre. There was like, I think skitter and step was kind of like UK garage 2-step kind of vibe. This one's definitely about the like more cheerful, clubby EDM kind of dance, trance style. Anyway, that's it for this time around. I'll be up again on Friday, and if you guys have any comments, questions, please reach out to me. You can message me, or of course leave comments about any packs that you're interested in. I'd love to hear from you. And I'll see you on Friday. All right, that's it for now. Bye.